twilight of the Kali Yuga. You know, this is a time when twilight, Kali Yuga, there are systems of understanding time, and they are geometric in nature. They relate to the planet and the moon in relationship, and numbers that take us into time sequences that go for tens of thousands of years. And the last great yuga of change is a time that began in 3000 BC, and that is the Kali Yuga, a time of great separation, a time of very deep darkness and density. And this is the twilight. The interesting thing about twilight is there is just enough light coming in where you can start to recognize things that were hidden by the darkness. So that is the nature of the reality today, is we are beginning to see, more and more people are beginning to see what isn't working in the world, what is off, because that darkness is having light shed upon it. And yet in this time, this mixture, we're at choice. We're at choice of which do we want to follow, which do we want to bring into our lives. You know, it's every day we can choose to spend time in ways that will enrich the light within us, which really enriches that joy, enriches that love. Or we can choose to hang out with things that make us unhappy, or even thinking about individuals and what they've done that have been an affront to our beingness. But what was said earlier when we started our conversation was mindfulness and understanding. Understanding what these people are going through in their lives. And there's so much energy of change coming into the planet that people's lives are being shaken at the very core. The very deep things that they're needing to overcome are being brought into their consciousness. And so it is with each one of us. And we can choose to engage in the dark parts of our being that are having light shed upon them so that we can learn how to let go of them, or by habit, or by just the familiarity we have with the things that have been driving us for so long, we keep doing those painful things. As someone we were with the other day, a really wonderful teacher, she was saying, you know, she teaches this stuff all the time. And yet, when she had the heart companion on, what she noticed was, even though she knew better than to be self-righteous in a certain situation, there was part of her that felt good doing it, and so she still, when she was presented with those situations, would fall into a habit of beingness that is less than the highest. And the heart companion allowed her to see that difference and have the time, the space in her own reaction, which is what we're finding more and more. We can take space in that reaction time so that we can say, I have a choice. I have a choice right now to choose a higher way of being, to choose a way of being that's more loving, to choose a way of being that's more conscious, to choose a way of being that is more inclusive and mindful. And that's the wonderful place we're in this transition time, and with the technologies that we're working with, we have choice.
Yeah, and the choices are, you know, that's liberating. You know, when we talk about freedom in this country, what is really, you know, what makes us free? You know, to me, what makes us free is not laws or what somebody else tells me. It's my spirit being able to express itself. And I love what you were saying before. You know, we're in a time where there's so much more transparency. And that happens because there is more light that's coming through. The more that we're cognizant of that, mindful of that, we're capable of making the next choice and the next choice that takes us in this pathway of evolution. So, it's not like a magical trinket, what we're wearing. It's something that connects us to who we really are essentially. And from that place, we can see. We can step outside of the illusion. We can make a choice. We can have the opportunity to interact with other people in our relationships, with our purpose, so that we make a difference, so that we are, really expressing love and joy. And that, to me, is the most, one of the great gifts of being here in this time, that everything that we do can imprint each other, imprint our children, our friends, our communities, so that together we move into higher evolution. And that's how we'll see the pollution go away on the planet. That's how we'll see the economic disparities shift. Because when we have that level of awareness, then people will automatically understand. They'll automatically find new technologies that will just seem to come up, and people will fund them and they will be operating. And that is going to be the natural progression. Just like, we'll get these reports from people with our products that all of a sudden these wonderful synchronistic experiences start to happen. Well, did somebody magically appear? Or were we ready to see? Were we ready to recognize something and then make those choices and take action? That's what we're being called here for today. And that's what these tools, like the Heart Companion and the Eye Connect, do for you, so that this evolution, which is what we're here for, can take its place.
Aku guna kisi.